We're at the last step before we start the building process or the pre-build process in earnest. And so what I thought I would do is just show you how we freeze the configuration, but also point out something you've seen a little bit of and I don't think I've taken you through in detail. And that's over here on the right of our configuration, and we're in the database again. We have this box and these series of red and green buttons within that box. And it's our way of, at a glance, being able to tell where the configuration is in the process and what needs to be done. And if everything goes perfectly according to plan, then these all turn green in order as things progress. So at the top, we've got reserve start date, and that button sends the reserve a start date email to the to-be owner. So it says, hey, you've reserved a start date. Sometimes they get that. If they right away configure, they don't get that. They just get the order confirmation. The next button is one that we press that just tells us that they have confirmed their species and they're ready for wood selection. The next button says that we've set aside the wood in the shop. And the next one is that they have approved their wood. The next one is automatic, and it's when everything in the configuration has been set. This button comes on and it says to us, everything is set, and it just lets us know that we can, what we call, set the configuration to green. And that's when we know we're good to go. And the next thing that happens is that we send an email to the to-be owner 1 month before their freeze date. So I think I've told you this, but the freeze date is 2 months before the start date, or 3 months if there's special inlay or if it's a banjo. So 1 month before that, we send a pre-freeze email, and that says, hey, your freeze date is a month away, so now is the right time to make sure you've got everything set and you've got no more questions. Because when we send the freeze email, what we really want is just to hear back, go. And at that point, their configuration's frozen. There are no more changes that are allowed. So we send the pre-freeze a month before the freeze date, and then we send the freeze email on or a couple days before the freeze date. And if we get back a confirmation, yes, everything's okay, then we click the frozen button. And what that does is, at that point, this instrument will appear on a report that Ben does and a report that Shar does. And they will know they can start that instrument. They can start the neck, the fretboard. Sorry, not the neck. That's done in another way. They can start the fretboard, and they can start the joining of the top, back, and sides, and the rosette. Various things that happen before the build actually starts. So it's the pre-build stuff. TBS to Ben is a button that we push when we send the top, back, and side set to Ben for joining. And when it comes back, we hit that joined and sanded button, this next one down, so we know it's back in our shop. The fretboard started. We hit that when Ben tells us that he started the fretboard, and when he delivers it to us and it's been QA'd, we hit fretboard completed. Head plate completed is when that comes to us. When we print the hang tag for your case, that button finds the next 8, it prints them, and then it goes green to say that your hang tag has been printed. When we actually start your instrument, we send an email the day that we start, and that button turns green. It says that we've sent you an email that your instrument is in build. We print the shop schedule, and so by hitting that button, we would actually print the schedule, and it would turn green, and it says to us that shop details are out in the shop. Done is a button we press that sends you an email that says your instrument is complete and when we're going to ship it and so forth. And the print case insert is one that we press, and that prints the warranty information and the other things that go in your case. And the Today's UPS is a button that we press that finds every instrument that is going to UPS on a given day, and it sends the address information to our UPS store. And then we have some buttons below that we need from time to time if we need to update your configuration or you send us a partial payment, things like that. So that's what all these buttons are for. Now let's use a couple of them. I'm going to run a report right now that tells me all the instruments that are a month before their freeze date. And look, there is ours. And so I'm going to send the pre-freeze email. I'm just going to click that right there. And that sends an email to me or to the to-be owner that says, hey, your freeze date is a month away. You better get on it. So now I'm going to go back to our configuration that I just showed you. And you can see pre-freeze has now been checked because we've sent that email. All right, now we're going to accelerate time a little bit, and I'm going to go to a report that shows you people that are ready to freeze. So here's that report, and you can see here I am at the top, and this is people that need to be freezing or sent their email. So in this case, I can see that's red. It's time to send that email. I'm going to click it, and it's going to send the email that says, hey, it's time to freeze, and after this, let us know if everything's okay. And once you let us know, then we're going to freeze, and you can't make any more changes. I'm going to go back to our configuration, and you can see that it tells me right here that freeze email has been sent. And let's say right now that the owner sends me back an email and says, hey, I got it, I'm good to go. Then I will click that frozen button there, and it turns it to green. And now we know when we look at this that we are good to go. And as I said, by clicking that button, when Ben runs his report on fretboards and tops, back, and sides, this instrument will suddenly appear. Shar has a similar report that she uses to pull wood from the shop and send to Ben. This instrument would now be on that report. So that's what we've done. Thanks for putting up with all these videos about the computer, because now we're going to start seeing stuff happen in the shop.